Did you know that Greece, renowned for its breathtaking landscapes and rich history, is home to the first advanced civilization in Europe? That's right, even before the mighty Romans or the intellectual Egyptians, the Minoan civilization was flourishing on the island of Crete around 2700 BC. The Minoans were not simply a civilization, but a cradle of creativity and progress. They were a people of artists and architects, making strides in both fields that were astonishing for their time. Their palaces, frescoes, and pottery still captivate us today with their beauty and complexity, but the Minoans were not just about beauty, they were also a civilization of scribes and scholars. They developed one of the earliest forms of writing in Europe, the linear A script, which remains a tantalizing unsolved mystery to linguists and historians alike. The Minoans set the stage for the rise of one of the most influential civilizations in history, the Mycenaeans. Enter the Mycenaeans, the powerhouse of the Greek Bronze Age, known for their epic tales of heroes and gods. The Mycenaeans were a civilization of warriors, their military might unmatched in the ancient world. With their bronze weapons and chariots, they dominated the battlefield, taking over Crete and other Greek city-states. Their society was centered around grand palaces, each a hub of political, religious, and economic activity. These palaces, often perched atop hills, were surrounded by high walls, testifying to the Mycenaeans' mastery of architecture and their need for protection. Life was dictated by a king, or wanax, who was both a military leader and a religious figure. But perhaps the most enduring legacy of the Mycenaeans is their mythology, immortalized in the Homeric epics, the Iliad and the Odyssey. These tales of heroes, gods, and mythical creatures have shaped Western literature for millennia. They tell us of the Trojan War, of the cunning Odysseus, and the wrathful Achilles. Through these tales we glimpse the Mycenaeans' values, courage, honor, and the pursuit of glory. Yet despite their grandeur and power, the Mycenaeans met an abrupt end. Around 1100 BC, their civilization collapsed. The palaces were abandoned, the art of writing was lost, and Greece was plunged into a period of obscurity and decline. This era, characterized by a lack of written records, is known as the Dark Ages. However, the Mycenaean civilization collapsed mysteriously around 1100 BC, plunging Greece into a period known as the Dark Ages. With the fall of the Mycenaeans, Greece entered a period of decline, but it was also a time of great transformation. As the Bronze Age ended and the Iron Age dawned, the flourishing Mycenaean civilization fell into a 4-century-long period known as the Dark Ages. The reasons for this decline remain a mystery, with theories ranging from natural disasters to invasions by foreign tribes. Though it was a time of decline, it was not devoid of progress. This era saw the re-emergence of the Greek language, the adoption of the Phoenician alphabet, and the seeds of what would become the defining characteristic of this period, the birth of the polis, or city-state. The polis was more than just a city or a town, it was a tight-knit community of citizens with shared values, laws, and traditions. These city-states were independent entities, each with its own government and military. They were small enough for citizens to take an active part in public affairs, and yet large enough to be self-sustaining. The most famous of these city-states was Athens, which would later become the birthplace of democracy. The city was initially ruled by kings, then by aristocrats, but by the end of the Dark Ages, it had begun to experiment with a revolutionary new form of government. The power was transferred from the few to the many, creating a system where every citizen had a voice. It was an idea that was as radical then as it is fundamental today. While these city-states were often at odds with each other, they also collaborated when faced with external threats. They shared a common language, worshipped the same gods, and participated in the same festivals and athletic competitions, which helped foster a sense of shared identity. The city-state structure and the advent of democracy set the stage for the classical period, a golden age of cultural and intellectual growth. These developments laid the groundwork for the flourishing of philosophy, arts, and sciences, making Greece the cradle of Western civilization. The classical period, often referred to as the Golden Age of Greece, was marked by great achievements and bitter conflicts. During this time, Greece was a beacon of wisdom, radiating with intellectual and artistic brilliance. Philosophy, which means love of wisdom in Greek, flourished with the likes of Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, challenging conventional thinking and laying the groundwork for Western philosophy. The arts also reached a pinnacle of aesthetic perfection during this period. Drama, whether it was tragedy or comedy, was used as a medium to explore moral, social, and political issues. Sculpture and architecture embodied the Greek ideals of harmony, balance, and proportion, with the Parthenon standing as a testament to their architectural prowess. In the realm of sciences, Pythagoras, Euclid, and Hippocrates pushed the boundaries of human knowledge in mathematics and medicine. The Greeks' thirst for understanding the world around them led to significant advancements in these fields. However, the Golden Age was not just about intellectual and artistic triumphs. The Persian Wars, a series of conflicts between the Greek city-states and the Persian Empire, were a defining moment of this period. The Greeks, despite being outnumbered, displayed remarkable heroism and strategic brilliance. The Battle of Marathon, where the Athenians defeated the Persians against all odds, became a symbol of Greek resistance. The stand at Thermopylae, where 300 Spartans held off a massive Persian army, has been immortalized in history and culture. These victories showcased the Greek spirit, a combination of bravery, unity, and strategic acumen. The victory over Persia not only preserved Greek independence but also sparked a period of unprecedented prosperity and cultural growth. This era, the Golden Age, was a time when Greece's contributions to the world truly shone, embodying the essence of human potential and the power of the human spirit. Yet, peace in Greece was short-lived, and soon, the city-states were embroiled in a devastating conflict, the Peloponnesian War. In the 5th century BCE, the two most powerful city-states, Athens and Sparta, found themselves on the verge of war. The Athenian Empire, led by the statesman Pericles, had grown in wealth and power, causing alarm among the Spartan-led Peloponnesian League. This tension eventually ignited the Peloponnesian War, a brutal conflict that would last for nearly 3 decades. Athens, with its formidable navy, and Sparta, boasting an unmatchable land force, engaged in a series of battles, sieges, and revolts. The war was marked by treachery, shifting alliances, and tremendous loss of life. It revealed the darker side of humanity, as even the democratic Athens turned to tyranny during desperate times. In the end, Sparta emerged victorious. The Spartan army, allied with the Persian Empire, managed to break the Athenian naval blockade. Athens, its walls torn down, and its empire dissolved, was forced to surrender in 404 BCE. The once flourishing city-state was left in ruins, its glory days well and truly over. The aftermath of the Peloponnesian War was disastrous for Greece. The conflict had drained the resources of the city-states, leading to economic decline and political instability. Athens, although defeated, was not destroyed, but its golden age of democracy, philosophy, and art had ended. Moreover, the war had shattered the unity of the Greek city-states. The rivalries and resentments fostered during the war made it impossible for them to unite against a common enemy. This disunity would have dire consequences in the years to come. The Peloponnesian War marked the end of the Golden Age, and Greece was soon to face another powerful adversary, Macedonia. It was in Macedonia that one of history's greatest conquerors, Alexander the Great, emerged. Born in 356 BC, Alexander was tutored by none other than the renowned philosopher Aristotle. He ascended to the throne at the young age of 20 and embarked on an unprecedented military campaign that spanned a decade. Through a combination of strategic diplomacy, military genius, and sheer determination, Alexander expanded his empire from the little kingdom of Macedonia to encompassing Egypt, Persia, and even parts of India. His conquests not only reshaped the political landscape of the ancient world, but also led to a significant cultural transformation. This was the birth of the Hellenistic period, a time when Greek culture, language, and ideas spread far and wide, from the Mediterranean to the distant shores of Asia. The cities that Alexander founded, including the famous Alexandria in Egypt, became vibrant centers of learning, trade, and arts, reflecting the rich tapestry of Hellenistic culture. But the sun set on Alexander's empire soon after his untimely death at the age of 32. His vast territories fragmented, falling into the hands of his generals, the so-called successor kingdoms. Yet even in its fragmentation, the Hellenistic legacy lived on, influencing everything from architecture to philosophy, science, to arts. While Alexander's empire didn't last, the Hellenistic era saw Greek influence spread far and wide, leaving an indelible mark on the world. From the first European civilization to the expansive empire of Alexander the Great, Greece has had a truly remarkable history. We've journeyed from the mysterious Minoans, creators of Europe's first advanced civilization, to the heroic Mycenaeans, who laid the foundations for the Greek city-states, the Polis. We've seen how these city-states, particularly Athens, birthed democracy, a system of governance that forever changed the world. We've relived the Golden Age, a period of unprecedented intellectual and cultural growth, and witnessed the epic Persian and Peloponnesian wars that tested the strength and resilience of the Greek city-states. We've followed the meteoric rise of Alexander the Great, whose empire stretched from Greece to Egypt and as far east as India. Remember, the legacy of ancient Greece continues to shape our modern world, from political systems to arts and sciences. So next time you vote, watch a play, or look up at a Doric column, think of the Greeks.